Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chad, this is Kyle, and we're going to be taking you through the series of rebuilding this 2008 Toyota Matrix. Let's get to it. We bought this Toyota Matrix in the intent of rebuilding it. Currently it has a blown motor or something wrong with the motor, and it is just not roadworthy. It's been sitting for over a year now, and we went ahead and just scoured the webs looking for a new series that we can do to bring to you guys. And I came across this Toyota Matrix, perfect for our channel since, just about fixing things, getting things back on the road. That's what we're going to try to do here. So me and Kyle here are going to take you through the whole steps on what we're going to do to this Toyota Matrix to, first of all, clean it. It's just filthy. It's been sitting for over a year. Fix the engine, make it look actually presentable, to where we will actually probably either resell it or do something with it on our channel in the future. But right now we just kind of have to clean it, and we're going to take you through the process of that. After that, we're going to take the Toyota Matrix back to Kyle's pole barn, and we'll give you a full diagnostics, what it's going to need, maybe even look at the engine, see what's wrong with it, and we just don't know yet. Pretty much bought it without ever hearing it run or hearing it even turn over. So we just kind of got to do that for now, and let's go ahead and start by cleaning it. Are you ready for doing this, Kyle?
Go.
Awesome. So an hour later, this thing is finally clean. It was filthy with algae and just nastiness from sitting underneath the tree. But we're gonna go ahead and hook this thing up to Kyle's truck, and we're gonna get this thing towed over to his pole barn. It's obviously not running, so we gotta hook the strap up now and get on over there. Let's get to it.
Alright guys, that is unfortunately it for the day. As you can tell, the sun is starting to set. The cleaning took a little longer than what we originally planned, as Chad had said before. So tomorrow we're going to come back and we are going to finish this up with diagnostics, pull the wheels off, see how the brakes are, and we're going to start diagnosing that motor not running issue. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
So it's the next day now, and we're about ready to pull the Matrix into the pole barn. We got things arranged in here, cleared out of the way so we can get it up on the lift. So let's go ahead and start pushing and get it up on the lift. All right, we went ahead and pushed this into the pole barn, got it in position for the lift. Now we're just gonna throw those arms under there, lift it on up, and first thing we're gonna do is take off the wheels. We wanna take a look at a few things like the brakes and like tie rods and everything like that. And then after that, we're gonna go ahead and look at the engine. So again, I bought it with the engine locked up or not running. That's just what I was told. I personally do think it's locked up. What do you think?
I think it's savable.
So let me know what you think in the comments below. But let's go ahead and take these wheels off, see what we're looking at here.
Rusty, but not terrible. Wheel is off. Rotor looks virtually brand new. No edge on it. Got a ton of pad material. We'll actually put a measurement on that, give you a number. Hoses don't look cracked. Strut has seen better days, but it's not terrible. Links are even strong. Before we pulled the wheel off, we tested the tie rod ends, those were tight. Let's pull the other three, make sure we have concise information from all four corners. Rotor and pads on this side look exactly the same. Fresh pads, no grooves on the rotor. Everything's tight. Man, this thing's clean. Gotta love California cars. Back wheel's off. Gotta pull the drum off. This one was locked up when we purchased it. Had to drag it about 20 feet to get this one broken loose. Here in a little bit, we're gonna pull this drum off, see how it looks, and see what we're gonna need to do with these back brakes. But everything else back here looks decent. Hoses don't look cracked. Lines don't look rusted. Fuel system looks good. Let's pull the last one off. All four wheels are off now. These tires look incredibly meaty. So don't have a tire gauge with me here in the barn. We're gonna try the old penny trick. As you can see, I might not be able to see too well, but Lincoln's head is well covered. We've probably got 30 seconds left on this particular side, but tires look good. Maybe a little hubcap action on here to spruce them up a bit before we get this thing out of here. Well, let's start pulling off these drums and then we'll get to the motor. Wow. Spray a little brake clean in there. Clean the dust off of it. Adjust those in just a hair. Not even a lip on the drums. Perfect. So talking with Chad as I pulled that other one off, it's come to my attention that everybody knows the correct, proper manufacture way of pulling drums off. Most drums have two threaded holes in the drum hat itself. Take two bolts threaded the same, 5/16 on this particular one. Slide them in here, and then slowly tighten those down. Pushes against the flange, and it pushes the drum hat off as you're tightening these down.
So we managed to get this drum off on this side. But we took the spring and the clip along with it, so we're just going to go ahead and put that back in right now. Just a little spin to the right, and it will be secured again.
I do remember.
There we go, that drum's back together. So as you just saw, we got all 4 wheels off of here. We looked at the braking components from the front calipers and disc, and also the rear drums, everything in between. All looked great, just a lot of cleanup and a lot of surface rust. Again, sitting here for over a year is gonna do that. The steering and the suspension looks great too, and then we also seen how much tire we have left on those. It's quite a bit. So next we're gonna go ahead and hop up front, and let's see if we can go ahead and turn this engine over, if it will. So let's get to that. All right, we're up to the front of the engine here. If you guys didn't know, the Toyota Matrix is pretty much the same as that car as the Pontiac Vibe. They share the same engine, share the same platform really. It was a collaboration between the 2 manufacturers. And in the Pontiac Vibe and in the Toyota Matrix, they used the 1ZZ FE. So this is a 1.8 liter Toyota engine. And honestly, it's a really good engine if you take care of it. They can get all the way up to 300,000 miles. Unfortunately, this one made it to about 150. Well, at least that's what the ad said and the person I bought it from. But this one had a pretty premature death. But like I said, we're gonna go ahead and turn this over for the first time. We got our battery hooked up down here since our extra battery didn't come with one. Since our extra battery did not have the correct post orientation, we have to rig something up. But it's working great. We already turned the key a teeny bit just to make sure we can roll the window down. And what we're gonna do now is just turn it over, see if it'll spin. Who knows? Maybe it will. Let's take a look. Kyle, you wanna go ahead and try to start her up?
Ready?
Let's do it. I hear a little compression. I'm not sure. Something's blowing out a little bit. You know what? I bet you there's not spark plugs in there. That's the reason. So right before we turn this over here, we tightened down each one of these coil packs. And each one of those coil packs were loose. And you know what? I bet you they took out every single one of the spark plugs from there. So let's go ahead and pull those coil packs off and see if they're under there. Go ahead.
Not a single plug in her.
All right, well, that'll be fun. So we need to get a set of plugs. Well, we can always do a compression test if we really wanted to. It'd be nice and easy too. All right, so no plugs. Time to go look in the car, see if they're in there. All right, so like you just saw, we just pulled those coil packs out of there and no spark plugs. So I actually have an extra set of spark plugs. I've done these engines many times before. I know what I've ran into before, and I've saved a set of spark plugs. So I'm gonna run to my house real quick, get a set of spark plugs, and in the meantime, Kyle's gonna get his compression tester, and he's gonna test each cylinder, see what we're registering here. So I'll let Kyle take it from here.
All right, while Chad does that, I'm gonna test the compression. We're gonna start in cylinder number 1. Obviously, all 4 spark plugs are out of the engine. Got my gauge hooked up, cylinder already set up. We're starting with cylinder number 1. Make sure everything's hooked up. I've already pulled the relay for the EFI system. That way we don't flood the system with fuel any more than it already is from us previously starting to start it. So I'm gonna hit this and see where our number are.
Let's start your power quick, okay?
Yep. Zero PSI. So that tells me this thing has a timing belt issue, and we're gonna end up pulling this motor and putting the new one that we have in. All right, so off camera, I tested the other 3 cylinders. Cylinder 2, cylinder 3, and cylinder 4 all had roughly 65 PSI in it, which for this engine, definitely not enough. So I'm still leaning towards this motor's not savable, especially since cylinder number 1 has 0 PSI of compression, which means that unfortunately it looks like the top of the piston head came to meet one of the valves. No bueno on that one. So it's bent, not leading to any compression at all. Looks like this motor's coming out and ours is going in.
Well, I'm back with the spark plugs, but it sounds like we're not gonna need them. But like Kyle said, probably got engine replacement on the horizon, but let's go ahead and remove that valve cover and see if we have any loose valve train. I'm sure there is. I'm sure that piston met those valves, so let's take a look. All right, so Kyle was nice enough to take those 10mm bolts holding that valve cover in the rest of the way, and got the valve cover off. And looking at this, sure enough, cylinder 1 on the intake side, both of those valves are stuck down. That's common with, you know, if the piston comes up, valves are still down, hits the tube, bends them, and then they stay down. Looking down that spark plug hole too, with the flashlight, I can actually see where the exhaust valves tap the piston. You can see a small moon shape on it, and sure enough, the exhaust hit too. Those are not stuck, but intake is, and that's where our issue is going to be coming from. That's probably due to either a stretched timing chain jump tooth, or even like tensioner or guide busted. So it could be any of those. I did see a lot of engine oil on the backside of this engine, and if you know these Toyota motors, they love to leak oil out of those tensioners. So who knows, might just lost a little bit of oil pressure too, which loss of tensioner then would give a bad timing and could cause this catastrophic failure. So in the end, this is going to be a full engine replacement, and that's what we're going to go ahead and do. So with everything we just did here, between the engine, suspension, tires, everything like that, let's go ahead and make a list here real quick of everything we'll need, and I'll wrap this up. So Kyle and I have compiled a list of everything we're going to need for this car. Starting here with the to-do. First of all, actually, Great White Hope. That's the name of this vehicle. Let's see if it sticks, but you've seen what it looked like before, and we're hoping to just get it running, get it drivable for somebody else to use. So Great White Hope has 152,844 miles, and we're going to be doing the engine. We got to do the timing chain. We need just a complete oil change, new coolant, and some general maintenance, and that's within the actual engine bay. Then on the exterior, we have the antenna. You can see this antenna is busted, so we'll get a new antenna. We didn't get any hubcaps, so we'll get some hubcaps. Clean and adjust the brakes. Get a battery. My current battery is for another project, so got to get that replaced. And then we just need a wash and buff. We might also do some rust repair right here. We have the fender up in the front left that has a little bit of rust from either a dent or something like that happened in its previous life. Got to clean the interior, do a headlight cleaning, and then lastly, we have a loose mirror on the passenger side. That is everything that we know of that we have to do to it at this point. There'll probably be more that pop up, I'm sure of it. But in the next episode, we're actually going to put the wheels back on, but first we have to clean and adjust the brakes and get everything like that as good as it can be for the time being. Once we start driving it, it will get better as things start to adjust, rust starts to get off of things, and things start moving again. But we're going to get those all cleaned up, put the wheels back on, because we need to make room for the engine hoist once we get the engine completely ready to come out of there. So let's go ahead and call this video wraps. If you like this video, please make sure you click that like button. Also, subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.